Hey y'all, what's going on? This is Jesse Both from the 19th hole, and we're here to do the rookie guide for you all this afternoon. And this is for the upcoming tournament, which is the Winter Major. This is the fourth major tournament of the year, and it's on a brand new course. We got the Maple Bay course, and we got 9 brand new holes. So we're gonna go over them here today, and hopefully we can kind of help you all out with some ideas on how to play these holes with the proper clubs, balls, and elevation changes that you will need to take into account on each of your shots during the tournament, which starts on Monday, which is 2 days from now. That's when qualification kicks off. So let's go ahead. We're going to get started. And we got hole number 1. Hole number 1 is a par 4. And this is for the rookie. I don't know if I mentioned that or not, but this is definitely for the rookie division. So, hole number 1, as you look at the hole right here, you say, well, I can go left or I can go right. I would definitely suggest playing to the right side. It leaves you a much nicer second shot to the hole. And the way that you would do that is you're going to use an extra mile for your club. You're going to need a power 3 ball, so Titan ball. And you're going to play this one with a plus 10% adjustment off the tee box. So plus 10% right away off the tee box. And when I say a plus 10%, when I say plus anything, that means you're adding additional wind to the wind that you already have present. So if you have a 5 mile per hour wind, plus 10% would add another 0.5. So you would play that shot as a 5.5 mile per hour wind. If I said plus 20%, you would add an extra mile per hour. So you play that as a 6 mile per hour wind. So just something to keep in mind as we go through the video here, and I do kind of give you different elevation changes for different shots. So off the tee box, with the Titan ball and extra mile, we're going to be looking at a shot with about 2 bars of topspin, and you're going to be landing your shot up in this zone right here. This shot is going to actually bounce over the bunker. So it is kind of a difficult shot, and you probably will see a lot of people in this bunker during the week. But hopefully, if you play it right, we can make it so you get it over the bunker. So you'll bounce up here and then roll out your shot to this zone right there. 2 bars of topspin and a little bit of left spin on that tee shot to the right side is definitely the way you want to play that shot. Now, you could possibly play it to the left side on this fairway as well. It's not the way I would recommend, but it's definitely a shot that is possible depending on the wind that you get. If you get a really nice tailwind, you could possibly bounce your shot over to this area somewhere on that area of the fairway. And it leaves a much more difficult second shot to the pin. As you can see, if you look at the green, you have very narrow landing areas right here. As opposed to the shot to the right, it leaves you a very nice, manageable thorn shot to the hole. It's a very straight-on shot. Put a couple bars of backspin or play it a little bit farther off from the hole and play no spin at all. But it's definitely a very manageable eagle shot from the right side. So the second shot, we're going to play with a plus 10% adjustment as well, because it is going to a downhill location towards the green. And yeah, it's a short iron shot, and you can play your thorn or you can play your hornet. This is definitely a very go for the shot, go for the pin type of eagle play on this hole. If you play it to the left side, you're more than likely going to be using a long iron to the fairway green area, and you're gonna have to use a shot, most likely either to this zone or even to this zone right here will be your options. You're gonna have to use backspin, kind of have to use the contour of the green to kind of spin it back to the hole. Definitely not a very eagle-esque opportunity. If you play it that way, you're more than likely going to be playing for the birdie. So that's why I say play it to the right side. And just go for that shot with the thorn towards the hole, and hopefully y'all can get the eagle that way. Hopefully y'all have been able to practice on tour 5 I played on Tour 5 and was able to get the holes pretty easily. I would say there were a few stretches where it took some time, but for the most part, I got the holes pretty easily on Tour 5. Okay, so that's hole 1. Our next hole here is hole number 2, and it's a par 4. No, par 5. This is a par 5, yeah. And the way we're going to play this hole is we're going to be playing it with the extra mile. We're going to play a plus 10% for the adjustment off the tee. And we're going to be playing with a Titan ball. Now, I'm going to first give you my recommended way of playing it and then give you more of a conservative, safer way to play it. The recommended way that I say to play it is play it to the right side. Okay? You're going to be bouncing your ball in this zone right here and trying to get your ball to roll up into about the center area of that fairway. And that's the way, that's my recommended way of playing it. And to do that, you're going to use about 3 to 4 bars of topspin and some left spin on that shot to get that to that location that you want your ball to be at. Now, if you want to play it to the left side is a little bit more of a conservative approach, and you know, you can play it that way, but once again, I feel like it leaves you with a much more difficult second shot to the green if you decide to play it to the left side. In which case, if you play it to the left, you play with full topspin, and you may want to consider using a little bit of overpower. Just try to get that ball down the fairway, you know, as far as possible off that shot. So that's why I say maybe go with a little bit of overpower. It's a fairly decent sized fairway, so you can afford great right or great left on that shot down the fairway. But that little bit extra yardage could definitely help you for your second shot to the green if you decided to go that way. And I would definitely recommend power 3 ball, Titan, even if you decide to go that way. Okay, so for our second shot, we're going to play with a plus 20% additional for the elevation change. And from the right side, you know, you're going to want to have your big dog. This is going to be a very heavy big dog course. I'm just going to tell you it right now. You got to have that big dog for a lot of holes. There are a lot of long holes on this course. So for your second shot, going over the water and downhill, you're going to land your shot in this zone. Let's see if we can back that up a little bit. In this zone right here, with your big dog. Now, from that right there, you're going to play about 2 to 3 bars of backspin and full left spin. The goal is to get that shot to land and then curl around towards the hole like this. Okay, so you're going to want to use 2 to 3 bars of backspin. Okay, and then max left spin, and you're going to use a little bit of left curl for that shot. And hopefully you can bend that shot around that rough and that water towards the hole and set yourself up for a really nice chance at an eagle. Maybe you'll get a good lucky roll and get to albatross, but I would definitely consider this more of an eagle hole. You want to make sure you get the eagle on this hole. Okay. If you want to play it from the left side, it's definitely going to be a big dog shot. And it's just, man, it's a really tough shot to try to make. Just looking at it right here, I mean, you could possibly try to hop it over this and hit the rough and roll up onto the green, or even possibly some sort of a shot over to this area here and try to bring it up around to the green that way. I just don't really see the upside to playing a shot to the left on this hole. I would definitely stick to the right side. If you want to play it left and you find a better way to play that shot, definitely post in the comment section. You know, these are brand new courses and brand new holes, so these are new to all of us. You know, I've only got to play these holes a few times each, so you know, other types of shots may develop throughout the tournament as people get a little bit more comfortable, maybe figure out a different shot. So, you know, just keep that in mind when you're watching this video. You know, this isn't end-all say-all type of stuff. This is just kind of like guidance type of stuff. And other types of shots may open up during the tournament week. So definitely, you know, go into it with an open mind and just, you know, a very curiousness to yourself to try to be on the lookout for other shots as well. So 10% on the tee shot, 20% adjustment on the second shot. So hopefully y'all can get that one. All right. Moving on, we got hole 3 now. And it's our first par 3. And we are going to play this one with a plus 10%. I would recommend going at this one with the backbone for your long iron, and then either a quasar or a katana ball for your ball. You want a ball with some side spin on it for sure. Basically, what we're trying to do is we're trying to land our shot in this zone right here. And then we're using the not use top spin, we're using the right spin and the back spin to take our shot off this this landing spot towards the hole, like that. And as far as backspin goes, if we have a tailwind, I would definitely go with about 2 bars of backspin. If we have some sort of a side wind, about 1 bar of backspin. And then if we get some sort of a headwind, which I really doubt we're going to get in the rookie, it's going to be somewhere in between 0 and 1 bar of backspin. I would guess it's going to be more of a side-ish tailwind if I had to like completely guess. So somewhere between 1 to 2 bars of backspin is going to be your premium adjustment for this hole. But the main thing that you want to remember is that side spin to the right. Without that, you won't be able to get your ball far enough to the hole, and then you will need to probably use a little bit of right curl. So if you don't feel like you're getting your ball guide far enough right towards that hole, then don't be afraid to use just a tiny bit of right curl to kind of compensate for that extra push to the right for sure. So we said plus 10%. We said katana or quasar. Katana ball is definitely going to give you the right spin to the hole. A quasar may still require you to use a little bit of right curl on the shot. All right, that's that hole. Not too much to say on that hole. Only one way to play it. Okay, we got hole 4 now. And this is a par 4. Very interesting hole. Definitely is going to be a wind dependent hole. If we get a nice tailwind, definitely the possibility will be there to take your shot across the water for some sort of a rough bump to the green. And the way you would play that shot would be with the extra mile, of course. And depending on the level of extra mile you have and the strength of the wind at our back will determine how much overpower we need to use on that shot. So it's definitely important to have your ring system, ring measurements down, and know exactly how much distance that ball is going to carry with the wind, and then how much overpower you may need to factor into that shot. But playing that shot, you're going to play the you're pretty much going to play 4 bars of topspin at least on that shot, because you want to hit, you want to bounce over, and then you want to roll onto the green. So that's the way you would play that shot. If we get some sort of a side wind where we can't play that shot, then we have to kind of switch gears and look to the right side, in which case we're going to be looking to land our shot somewhere in this zone right here. You do want to be very careful on this shot to the right side, because the farther you go to the front of that fairway, the more that fairway slopes down towards that sand bunker, which means a much more of a line drive shot off the bounce, with the possibility of not getting through to the fairway. So just make sure you land your shot far enough back on the highest point of that hill so that you get the best possible bounce for sure. Max topspin, you want to go left spin on this shot. Even a little bit of left curl would not hurt, but you get a bounce over there. You may hit the rough and spin out. You may hit the fairway and roll out. There's definitely that possibility. I think I hit the rough and rolled out on my tutorial video of this hole, but it could happen either way. The most important thing though is that landing spot. You want to make sure you hit that spot not on a downward slope. So that's definitely would be my tip for this hole, no doubt. For the second shot, we're not going to play any kind of an elevation change. It's just going to be, most likely a thorn shot to the hole from here. And you possibly could play a rough bump as well if you wanted to go for a rough bump right there. The rough bump would be somewhere right in there. And definitely you want to make sure that you took a short iron with more topspin though. The thorn has a very small amount of topspin, so that would definitely be more of a hornet type of shot with extra topspin if you wanted to play it that way. So, all right, that's hole 4. Moving on to hole 5. And hole 5 is par 5. Okay, so off the tee box here, we're playing a plus 10% adjustment for sure. This is a hole where you can play it multiple ways as well. I would definitely recommend extra mile. You know, Titan ball is the premium ball to use here, but you could probably use a Quasar if you did not have Titan balls. With nice tailwind, you're going to play it to the left side. Your shot will be over this here area. You'll bounce somewhere in here, and then hopefully you'll bounce again and roll through the fairway or through that rough into the fairway section right here. That's going to be the way that you want to try to play this shot that way. If you don't feel like you have the distance to try that, you can go with less topspin and then just try to lay your shot up at the front, the end edge of that fairway as well. The shot where you go for the third fairway will definitely be a shot with full topspin and left spin. And more than likely in the rookie, your ball will roll through that rough into that fairway. But if you don't feel like you have the distance, you can play a safer shot where you do layup on that second fairway, and you'll use about 2 bars of topspin to do that shot. So if you have, if you want to play it to the right side, you can. I would definitely say that's not the I don't know, it's not the most productive way to play this hole. I think it sets you up for a fairly difficult second shot, but you can play it to the right side as well. You'll just be bouncing your shot here, trying to roll up through these bunkers to an area in this area right here. I for sure would say that playing it to the left side is the premium way to play it and gives you the best chance at a second shot to the hole for setting yourself up for an eagle. So for our second shot, we're going to play a plus 10% as well for the second shot from either spot. It does not matter what spot you're at. If you're going to play it from the left side with a long iron, you're going to play it towards the hole with a lot of backspin. The back of this green does slope back down towards the hole, so keep that in mind. So pretty much any shot you play, whether it's at the pin or it's just to the green, you're going to want to use that slope of that green to your advantage, I would say for sure. For the long iron, we said backspin. If you're going to be using the wood, if you're a little bit farther back on the fairway or on that second fairway, you're going to you're probably going to be playing a wood that bounces off of this island towards the green, up the green, and then rolls back. And playing it that way, I would probably say you're going to use some right spin and some backspin to play that shot. So right spin to kind of direct that ball towards the green, and then the backspin to stop it on the green, and then let that back slope of that green kind of do the work for you to take it back to the hole for an eagle. Now, if you're going to play it to the right side, that as well will open up some possible shots for you. You could possibly go for a rough bump from this right side, or you could play a shot where you land it over here with a lot of backspin, left spin, and left curl. I would not use full big dog curl. I would use probably about 3/4 of your big dog's curl for that shot, and then you will be using the edge of the green to roll your shot back down as well that way. Like I said, you could go for the rough bump as well. I think I do use a rough bump in one of my guide videos for the tutorials on this hole. And then I also do play the big dog curl shot as well. I think I play 3 different ways on this hole, and I think it's one example of each way. So definitely check out my tutorial video on this hole if you have any further questions about the way to play this hole. All right, so we got hole number 6 is next. Par 3. Oops. Hole 6, par 3. There we go. And backbone here. We're going to play with the backbone. We're going to play a plus 20% on this elevation adjustment for this shot. You're going to land your shot somewhere in this zone right here. It'll bounce over the edge of this bunker and rough. It'll bounce here, and then I want your third bounce to be just over the edge of that, not the green, but the the fringe of the green. You want that third bounce to be just over the fringe of the green, because you're going to use the slope of this green to roll up and then back down to the hole. As you saw in my tutorial example, I did get the ace on this hole. And the way we're going to play this one is with about 2 bars of top spin and left spin, max left spin. So go with the quasar ball here. 2 bars of top spin, max left spin. You want the third bounce to be just over the edge of the fringe towards the green. And you want to use the slope of that green to bring the ball back towards the hole for hopefully a possible ace. It's important to stay, to keep your bounce to the right, the right edge of that green. That will keep your ball guideline to the right side towards the hole. If you go too far left, your ball will roll to the left side of the green and then off the edge of the green onto the fringe, most likely. So we're trying to keep that ball as far to the right side of that green as possible to give us the maximum potential for that ace roll. Yep, the ace roll. You're going to see some people get an ace on this hole for sure. There seems to be a channel right there if you can get the proper angle to this hole to get that nice roll for the ace for sure. Okay. Next hole, hole number 7, par 4. And the way we're going to play this one is extra mile. We're going to go with the quasar plus 10% off the tee box. And we're landing our shot on this island. Okay. Off that island, we're going to use full top spin, full left spin. And get our shot out into this zone right here. I believe, really, that's the only way we're going to play this hole. I'm pretty sure in rookie we'll get a nice wind. So off the island is basically the only way you need to know to play this hole. And from there, if you can get a nice shot, you're going to leave yourself in short iron range. So from the spot on that fairway, I would definitely say plus 10% for your second shot toward the green. With your thorn, most likely, I would say your thorn. I think you want to club with some backspin on this shot for sure. And you can either go for the dunk attempt, like you saw me go in my video. You can play it with a lot of backspin, kind of straight at the hole, and use that backspin, or you can play it on a shot where you land and kind of in front of the hole, and use some right spin to take it towards the hole. So those are basically your 3 options. Do keep in mind that the slope does slope back towards the green. So, you can always play off that slope as well. So option A would be using like 4 to 5 bars of backspin and going straight at the hole. Option B would be a bounce before the green. Just find yourself a very flat spot on that fairway. Use a little bit of right spin and backspin towards the hole. Your third option is to use backspin and use the back slope of the green back to the hole. And then that fourth option would be the dunk. So definitely lots of different ways you can play that second shot to the hole. And hopefully y'all can figure out which one works best for you, and hopefully y'all can convert that eagle. That would be a nice eagle to convert for sure. All right. Hole 8, par 3. And this one right here is an interesting hole. We're going to play this one. It's fairly severely downhill. So plus 30% on the first tee, and I would definitely say I like the backbone and I like the Goliath. Now, if you use the backbone, you're probably going to need to use a power 3 ball. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself in between clubs. If you want to use the Goliath, you can use the Goliath and go with the Katana or Quasar ball. And basically what you're doing, you're trying to play your landing spot somewhere right in there. Okay. So if you like the accuracy of the backbone and you want to use the backbone, you're going to have to splurge on a power 3 ball. Otherwise, power 1, power 2 ball, you're going to go with a Goliath, and it probably needs to be at least, I would say, of at least level 3. At least level 3 to do that option. But tailwind, you're going to use 3 backspin. Side wind, you're going to use 2 backspin, and if you have a headwind, you're going to use 1 backspin toward the hole. So you'll bounce up there, right about there, and then roll to the hole. It's actually a pretty straightforward hole. The green looked fairly smooth. The times that I played it, I think it's definitely a great chance at the ace. I think it's just a matter of getting the elevation correct and the spin correct for the shot. and then also, you know, making sure that you select the proper ball that so you're not in between clubs. That's definitely something that you want to, you know, keep in your mind to avoid doing. It's never a good thing to go set up for your shot and then find out you're in between clubs. It's like probably one of the worst feelings that you get when you're playing this game in the tournament. All right, so that was hole 8, and our last and final hole is hole number 9. Hole number 9, and it is a par 5. So, a couple ways you can play this hole. I think the most common way that you're going to see people play this hole is with the power 3 ball. And they're going to be going for a shot basically straight down the pipe. Now, if you don't have an extra mile 6, you're going to be very borderline on your power, and you're going to have to overpower your shot, and you're going to have to be pretty darn perfect on that shot because your ball will not land quite as far up on the fairway as I draw that little circle, and you're going to hit the rough most likely and roll out into this zone right here. So that's one way you can play it, is with an extra mile. I would say at least 5. You really would like 6 to make that shot like a lot more manageable, but you can make it with a 5. I used a 5 in my video and I made it, but you saw I rolled out, and it was not like a very good rollout. It was just barely made it roll out. So from that position right there, now you can play your second shot. Now we will play a plus 10% on our second shots on this hole with the big dog, and you'll be landing your shot short of this gruff right here. As you can see, you'll be using about 4 to 5 bars of topspin and some left spin to bounce over this rough. You'll land here, and you'll roll back up onto the green like that. Now that's the way to play it from the left. If you don't feel like you can make that shot to that second fairway, you can try to lay your shot up at the beginning part of this fairway right here. You can try to lay your shot up there and then try to do a similar shot with the big dog, which may require a little bit of overpower and it may not. I haven't actually technically taken the shot yet, so I can't tell you 100%, but I would assume that it would require maybe a little bit of overpower for that shot. The other option that I have not seen a lot of people talk about would be a quarterback play to the right side. Now you'd be laying your quarterback somewhere in here. You would be using the curl of the quarterback, full right spin to bring your ball up into that zone right there. I would definitely say you probably want to have a quarterback at least 4+, level 4+, to make that shot, because I think it is 4 where it kind of gets the extra curl to it. I think it's about 50 curl, but that's definitely a play that is not out of thought. If you are worried about playing to that left side and you want to play a different way, that quarterback curl shot definitely is something that could work well. Full top and full right spin. I say tighten ball, but you could probably even possibly make it work with a quasar, but I would probably err on the side of caution, not particularly because of the drive with the tighten ball, but for the second shot. I really would like to have that second shot with that tighten ball at extra distance, because you will be taking your shot with the big dog over all of this stuff to this area right here, and either, you know, maybe a little bit of topspin to get over that rough, and it's a pretty straight on bounce towards the hole that way. So in regards to like the quality of a second shot, that shot right there at the hole is a pretty nice shot straight on to the hole, and you probably won't need as much topspin and other spin as you would for playing it to the left side. So it's just an option. I know that a majority of people are going to play it left, but you know, playing it left, if you have a club that's right there on the cutoff for being enough distance, you know, great left or great right, I mean, you're going to find yourself in this deep rough on either side, or even maybe a bunker. And in those positions, you really kind of screw yourself on this hole. You're looking at a birdie. I mean, you're looking at a flat birdie on this hole if you don't make that second fairway to the left. So playing it to the right with a quarterback may be something to consider, maybe something to try to get out and practice. You know, it's always good to have options open. I always say I'm a guy of options. So it's good to have options on the course. Just in case you're unsure of a shot, it's you know, it's always good to know a different way to play a hole, and sometimes we don't have that luxury. But I believe playing it to the right with a quarterback is definitely an option that we have. So it'll be interesting to see if anybody tries that way or tries to practice it during the qualifying rounds. Definitely, if you do and you see any success in it, definitely leave us a comment. Leave me a comment in the comment section. Definitely would like to hear from you. But that's it. That's hole 9. That's the Maple Bay. That's the brand new course. So definitely, if you enjoyed this video, please give it the thumbs up. If you are not a subscriber to my channel, definitely hit that subscription button if you enjoyed the video. If you didn't, that's okay. If you have any suggestions, leave suggestions in the comment box. Always looking for suggestions. Definitely check us out on Golf Clash the 19th Hole on Facebook if you are looking for a Golf Clash community. And that's about all I got. That's about all I got. So until this coming week where I start doing some live streams and playthrough videos, y'all take care. Have a good day. Have a great weekend. God bless. Later.